We'd like to take this opportunity to provide our middle school students and families with a virtual orientation for the 2020-2021 school year. This is Ms. Deichler, principal of the middle school.
This is Mr. Maurer, the assistant principal of the middle school, and we will be your guides through this virtual orientation.
We'd like to open our orientation with the mission statement of the district. The mission of the South Fayette Township School District, in partnership with the community, is to cultivate academic, artistic, and athletic excellence of the whole child by fostering the skills to be confident, ethical, empathetic, and responsible global citizens. At the middle school, we strongly believe in the three dimensions of academic, artistic, and athletic excellence. We believe the middle school is a time in which students can explore different interests, learn about new passions, and try things out at the middle school level. We also believe that we're giving them the opportunity to widen their scope as being global citizens and sharing their empathy for others.
We view our middle school community as being part of the larger South Fayette community, and within our students, we try our best to foster what can be summed up in the quote by Coretta Scott King: "The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members."
Two of the most important staff members that we have at the middle school are our two office administrative assistants, Mrs. Megan Koliakovo and Mrs. Rebecca Bruce. Anytime that you may have attendance issues to deal with, please contact Mrs. Rebecca Bruce. You can use her direct email listed on the screen, or you may send messages directly to msattendance@southfayette.org. Both of these ladies are very helpful and can direct or answer any questions that you have related to middle school, our communications, or any details related to our building and programming.
Some other key staff members in our middle school community are our school counselors. Mrs. Justina Perrott initially serves students with last names A through G, Ms. Taylor Connors, who serves students last names H through O, and Mr. Michael Perrott, who serves students with last names P through Z. These counselors, although initially serving students with the last names in the alphabet, can also be available for any student. We are also fortunate to have our school social worker, Mr. Tanner Jones, and we welcome our new nurse, Mrs. Misty Minarchek, to the middle school.
Should you have any questions or needs to be addressed related to food services or dietary concerns, you may contact either our food service director, Ms. Tricia Wood, or the middle school kitchen leader, Mrs. Lisa Benor.
At this point, you have seen your schedule for this school year, and if you are a sixth grade student, you are a student within a mini team. Sixth grade students have 3 academic blocks at a time: math, ELA, and either social studies or science, which are semester courses.
7th grade operates similarly to 6th grade, in which there are 4 mini teams, and students still only carry 3 core classes at one time, with science and history being semester courses.
8th grade students have a different schedule than 6th and 7th grade students. These students carry 4 core blocks at one time: math, ELA, history, and science.
All students have special area classes built into their schedule. On the team for the special areas, we have teachers in the music department, in the physical education and aquatics department. We have our art teacher, tech ed, family and consumer science, STEAM teacher. In 7th grade, students will take public speaking. In 8th grade, students will take media literacy. In 8th grade, students will also take a Python coding class as a special area class. And we also have the support of our reading specialist for reading classes during special area time.
Our middle school offers 3 world languages: Spanish, German, and French. Enrolled students take part in this course every other day through the entire school year.
Identified on this slide are our special education team members that support our learners in all 3 grade levels.
Upon arrival to the middle school, 6th grade students report directly to homeroom, followed by blocks 1 and 2, their first and second special, return to block 2, head to lunch, block 3, followed by activity period before dismissal. The remote sign-on time column is for hybrid students who are working remotely, as well as Cyber Academy students. These times are when students should sign on to ClassLink and Canvas to access their instruction.
7th grade students should also report directly to their homeroom after arriving to school. Following homeroom, students head to their first special, followed by their second special, and then they return to block 1, have the first part of block 2, interrupt that block for lunch, return to block 2 to complete it, then they have block 3, finishing the day they have activity period, followed by dismissal. Likewise, students have in the third column the indication of their sign-on time for each of their classes if they are a hybrid remote learner or if they're in the Cyber Academy.
As noted previously, 8th grade students have 4 core academic blocks. They begin the day in homeroom, followed by block 1, 2, and 3 before lunch. Following lunch, students report to their block 4 course, followed by specials 1 and 2, activity period, and dismissal.
Communications from school to home will be critical as we enter this unprecedented time of schooling and learning. From the middle school, please be alerted that messages come through a service called School Messenger to your email. The sender should be marked as MS Office for middle school office. These messages are sent automatically to the 2 emails registered in PowerSchool. We do not have a distribution list and cannot add emails to this list, for they are just generated from PowerSchool. Additionally, for our weekly announcements that come out of our office, you will get a message sent again through School Messenger on the last day of each week that gives you a link to see our announcements. You have access also to this link at any time on our website so that you can see announcements related to middle school or after school extracurricular activities and clubs.
The list of clubs and activities can be found online in the middle school handbook. Sign-up announcements will be made by our club sponsors. Students in both the Hybrid and Cyber Academy can take part in any club or sport offering the middle school has. Please note that hybrid students who are remote, as well as Cyber Academy students, will need their own transportation to school. We ask that they are dropped off in the front of the middle school at 3:05 p.m. Family transportation home must be provided to students following all activities and events, due to us no longer having an activity bus service.
For our students enrolled in the hybrid model, they have been broken up into 2 groups. Hybrid Group 1 is assigned to students with the last names that begin with the letters A through L. These students routinely attend every Monday and Tuesday and typically alternating Wednesdays. These students also attend instruction remotely from home on Thursdays and Fridays by following their grade level schedule. For our Hybrid Group 2 students, these are students with the last names that begin with letters M through Z. They routinely attend every Thursday and Friday and typically alternating Wednesdays. Likewise, these students attend instruction remotely on Mondays and Tuesdays by signing in to Canvas.
Students in Hybrid Group 1 must bring their signed laptop forms and annual fee of $25 on the first day of school. These students will receive school-issued materials on the first day and should bring their fully charged laptop. Students in Hybrid Group 2 must come to the school between 8:30 and 4 o'clock on Monday, August 31st for materials pickup. Please bring the signed laptop forms and annual fee of $25 to the school during this time.
Please remember, for the annual fee of $25, checks should be made payable to South Fayette Township School District, and in the memo field of the check, please write your child's first and last name as well as grade level. This slide displays the 2 hybrid group calendars for the month of September. The shaded in blocks on each respective calendar shows when that group should be in physically brick and mortar in the school. These calendars have been distributed via email to parents prior to this presentation, but again, on display is showing you how the September calendar will work. Please note that September is not typical with the Wednesdays due to starting school on a Wednesday and the interruption of Labor Day on a Monday.
As our students arrive to the middle school, They will immediately report to their locker and home rooms. Breakfast will be available in the cafeteria. Parent drop-off this year is in the front of the building. Bus drop-off is in the rear of the building.
For the students who will be using bus transportation to and from school, please be aware that you must wear your face covering while on the bus. Additionally, if you're a family who indicated that your child would be driven to school to or from, please note that the bus will still always be available for your child if he or she needs transportation. For parent drop-off in the morning, please note that we have several middle school families that have indicated that they will be providing this transportation for their children. As a result, we are asking all families to pull to the farthest position forward along the curb in front of our building that is nearest to the stop sign near our pool entrance. We ask that families do not wait to drop their child off in the center nearest the main entrance. Additionally, please be aware that parent drop-off should occur between 7:35 and 8 a.m. Students will be marked tardy if they arrive after 8 a.m.
For students returning to the middle school this year, parent pickup will operate a little differently due to the volume of car riders as well as for everyone's safety. This year, 8th grade students will be dismissed for parent pickup at 2:30 p.m. 7th grade students will be dismissed at 2:40 p.m. and 6th grade students will be dismissed at 2:50 p.m. For multiple siblings in the middle school, they should follow the release time for the oldest child. Parents and guardians need to park in the swimming pool, practice field parking lot, and walk to the front of the building for their assigned time. Mask wearing and physical distancing must be followed as parents wait outside to ensure everyone's safety. Parents are not permitted to park along the curb during this time. South Fayette staff will greet you and coordinate the sign-out process as you arrive.
Due to the enrollment numbers with Hybrid Group 1, 2, and Cyber Academy, we are able to issue each student a locker this year in the middle school. We are able to do so in a safe manner in which lockers will be spaced out 6 feet apart from one another. In addition to these efforts taken, students will also be released in a staggered manner from their core blocks to minimize the number of the students in the hallway at once. Additionally, teachers are working on minimizing how many visits to the locker must occur in the day for the students, again, just to try to keep the number of students in the hallway down at once.
Students must be wearing a face covering for the duration of the day. Students will, however, be provided a 10-minute mask break once in the morning and once in the afternoon. Each student will also be issued a face shield this year. These shields should be routinely and thoroughly cleaned at home. Following CDC recommendations, we encourage students to wear both a face mask and a face shield, but they are required to wear at least one face covering. The entire district is strictly following this mandate and will follow the code of conduct for non-compliance. Please note that exceptions will be made for medically excused students.
We know that for middle school students, lunch may be the most valued or important part of their day. We also know that lunch presents challenges in which we must honor to protect and provide the safety to all of our students and staff. As a result, students will be assigned to eat in either the cafeteria or the gymnasium, which will be based on the assignment of their core team of teachers. Each table in these two respective locations can seat 2 to 3 students maximum, and there will be 6 feet of distance between each of the students. Students will have time on the first day prior to going to lunch to identify 1 to 2 other classmates in which they would like to have at their tables. We know that this is an important element of socialization in middle school. However, we must lock in these seat assignments so that contact tracing could easily occur should it be needed. Students will be permitted to lower and remove their masks while eating and drinking as well. For your planning purposes, there will only be one prepackaged meal offered each day for lunch. There will no longer be the option of deli station, salad bar, pizza station. We encourage you to visit the menu on the website to see what the single meal offering is for each day. Additionally, for middle school students, there will be no seconds or snacks offered during lunch.
This school year, we have made some safety procedural changes. Students should walk on the right side of the hallways and keep a social distance of 6 feet between others. Our stairwells have become one direction only, and signage has been posted in each. Staff will be on hand to assist in helping students navigate properly and safely throughout the building. Students will also be released on a staggered schedule to minimize the number of students in the hallways at one time.
Another change for the middle school students this year is that they will not be permitted to drink directly from the school water fountains for everyone's safety, health, and well-being. As a result, students are permitted to bring reusable water bottles to school in which they will be able to fill up at our school water fountains. We ask that these water bottles have a permanent marking with their students' first and last names on it. We also prefer transparent water bottles, and we have to make sure, and students need to be reminded, that water bottles are not permitted to be shared between students, again, for everybody's health and well-being.
This year, we have added Canvas as our new learning management system. Educators and students will be using this program for remote learning and Cyber Academy learning. Canvas will be an icon for students to access in ClassLink. All of our students' courses have been pre-populated in Canvas, and students should access their teachers, video streaming, and resources through the courses available.
As we enter into this school year that will be unlike any other school year, we know that some procedures will have to be flexible and be amended. In regards to our attendance practices, please note that parents and guardians should still communicate to the school if their child will be absent from instruction, whether that is cyber, in-person hybrid, or remote hybrid. Any absences that would occur due to quarantining, COVID-related symptoms, or a COVID diagnosis will be marked as excused. However, we will need documentation from a parent or guardian indicating that it is a COVID-related absence. If during this COVID-related absence, students are still able to engage in learning remotely, they are able to do so and will receive full attendance credit. With any situation that arises, it may be unique and different than what we have faced in the past. So we encourage everyone, when they are in doubt, just to communicate with Mrs. Bruce, our attendance secretary, and we will sort it out, work with the family, and help you to know how the attendance will be taken in your unique scenario. We thank you, and again, we will approach this with flexibility and empathy.
It is imperative this year that our students stay home if they are feeling sick or showing any signs or symptoms of COVID-19 virus. We ask all parents to complete a daily screening before school. All students should self-screen using the questions on this slide prior to coming to our school. If the answer to any of these questions is yes, we ask that you stay home and consult your healthcare provider. Please be in contact with our school nurse if your child is showing any signs or symptoms of COVID-19, is in quarantine, or has a positive diagnosis of the COVID-19 virus.
We're going to shift gears here in the orientation to address our Cyber Academy students. Please note that we are distributing school-issued materials to our Cyber Academy students on Friday, August 28th between 8:30 and 4 p.m. We ask that the families make sure to bring the signed laptop forms and annual fee of $25 to the school during this time as well.
Students should log into each class according to their grade level schedule in PowerSchool. Some classes will be synchronous, meaning live or simultaneous with a teacher, and others will be asynchronous, which mean pre-recorded and where the teacher is not live. Attendance will be taken in each course that your student has. Each class will look and feel a little bit different, as students will not be online for the full duration of each of their class or block. They will have both on and off screen time assignments. Students will need to follow directions from each of their teachers for times to return online during a given block or class.
In order to help you understand the on and off screen time that may occur during cyber blocks, we have two models here that are a sample of time on and off for our students. For these models, they do apply to an 80-minute block, which is very common for 6th and 7th graders. However, the model could be applied to a 60-minute block or a 43-minute special area block. The top model shows that maybe in the first 10 minutes, a teacher asks all cyber students to sign on where they'll take attendance and they'll give tasks or goals for the students to accomplish. Then they'll ask the students to sign off for the next 20 minutes in which students work offline or in assigned virtual groups. During that time, the teacher is still dedicated to those students and monitors the online activity. The teachers are also available during those offline 20 minutes to address or work with individual students or small groups. The teacher would tell the students when to return online, and for the next 30 minutes, all students would be online in which a class discussion would be happening or a review of what they worked on offline would occur. And then for the last 20 minutes, teachers would ask students to go offline again and complete a closing task or what might be similar to traditional homework. A completely different sample model would be that for the first 30 minutes of a cyber block, all students would be signed on, the teacher would have taken attendance, and then they would have provided direct instruction to their cyber students. They then may ask their students to sign off for 40 minutes where they might be working independently or in assigned virtual groups. Again, the teacher is dedicated to that class at that time, so they will be monitoring work online in Canvas or in those small groups. Or they can work individually in a Google Meet with students or with a small group of students. And then possibly for the last 10 minutes, they would ask students to return online where they would wrap up the lesson and complete an exit or a conclusion activity.
We wanted to go over our attendance procedures for the Cyber Academy. For all non-COVID related absences, if a student will be completely absent from engaging in online instruction, typical attendance procedures will apply. The student will be marked absent. A parent, guardian, or physician's note is required for absence, and if no documentation is provided, the absence would be marked as unexcused. All COVID-related absences will be excused. Parent, guardian, or physician's excuse is requested, however. If students are able to, they are permitted to still engage in cyber learning if showing COVID-19 symptoms.
Although we know for certain that this school year is going to start off sounding, looking, and feeling differently, what has not changed is the South Fayette Middle School staff commitment and dedication to our students, their success, and their sense of belonging to a community. We thank our middle school families for their flexibility, patience, and understanding as we have prepared for this upcoming school year. We hope that you have found this virtual orientation to be helpful, and please know that the principals, administrative assistants, staff members, teachers are all just an email or phone call away should you have a question or need clarification. We are looking forward to an unforgettable start with our students, whether they are here in person or learning remotely.